Welcome, family. Welcome back. I decided to go ahead and get this one over with. I just, um, you know what? I did. So, yeah, it's like, I know that you are the things that you do for your name. For Washington, what people do on the south of Washington, what people do on the south. What people do for your name. And you might say, not quite funny, but our money might be so due for my name. People do obey the honor, but people do play my name. But it's not funny. It sounds good. It's like it's funny. It's like logical people do for money. For money. It's like for George Washington. What people do. Hey, welcome back, Manuel Briggs. I was kind of tired. I was ready to get out of the house, but it is. I don't like cloudy days. But it's cloudy day, and I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, this is a song. I don't know if you remember this one. Play at your own risk. Hey, all right. Play at your own risk. That's all I gotta say. Play at your own risk. Yeah, I'm glad it's the weekend, but I'm ready for these students to go back to school. And spring break. It was good. I got to sleep a little bit, but Get up and dance. Hey, get up off the wall. Manual. And then roll. Play at your All right. Enough of that. Let's get into the discussion. Yeah, some of these brothers who chose another mother, you brothers who chose another mother out there, you can you probably like the white wokeness better. So I'm gonna give you the white wokeness and what it's bringing to your society with your people. Because I disengage with this destructive society that I see going to the Thunderdome, where they're going to be trying to rise above the Thunderdome and can't rise above it, and keep blowing up and falling down to Earth, and the Earth keeps blowing up. But anyway, let's look at what they their wokeness, and then I was trying to get a hold of. Let me see if I can get this video up. Let me play with it a little bit because I got to get that picture. I got to get that picture that he had of their symbol of wokeness. They have a symbol of wokeness, a white wokeness that Democrats, you know, they pulled our Black Lives Matter into because they took, they confiscated that idea. We know how that came about. Mr. Brown, young man, about ready to go to college, graduated from high school, not bothering anybody, just walking from the store. They had to make up all kinds of stories why justify his shooting. Um, I can't even tell him. It's just too much craziness. It's a headache. Let me see if I can find it. Their wokeness. I've been trying. They said Budweiser. I've been trying to find this thing. Oh, let me see. Uh, Maybe I can find it like this. Like I'm putting a lot of my energy in my lotto. I've been doing good on that lotto. 2023. Putting my energy towards that. Where is this at? That's him from the other day. Hmm. Where is he at? So while I'm looking at that and looking for that, yeah, they love to infiltrate our movements. They really do. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. This is disgusting. Let me see if I'm at the beginning of it, where he explains it.
Show and my radio show. And then, of course, you'll meet the woke crowd and you'll meet normal Americans. Anyway, maybe because the Joe Biden White House keeps telling us that, this is what they said: allowing kids to permanently alter their body chemistries is now a civil rights issue. And when asked, Karine Jean-Pierre said, Joe Biden does not have an age limit. Doesn't matter.
Oh, what's that song, Beautiful Thing? I don't know if that's it, but I'll play it after what I'm going to say, because what I want to say is it's a beautiful thing, because you got the universe actually laying out the difference between Caucasian race and us, the Black race. The difference between the two that needs to be laid out. And I'm hoping that we differentiate, show the difference, because they may want to cover up the true people that are aware of the real truth and those who are aware of their own truth. This is the same thing with slavery. It was their own truth. It was their own truth, their own needs that got them to go get us and use us like cattle, like animals, and treat us as such, like we were nothing. This is what they did. It was their truth then showing. The universe shows us time and time again. Now their truth has been shown again. They haven't changed. In Tina Turner's song Thunderdome, they asked, will we ever change? If you won't change, then your situation won't change. Your life won't change. You won't change. You won't progress. You progress in a ideology that is a dead one, that is birthed from a premises of lies, because truth cannot be faced. Because truth cannot be faced. So let me finish this video.
No matter how young you might be, you should be allowed to have that gender-changing surgery. Take a look.
Does the president have a position on at what age these kinds of therapies and surgeries are appropriate?
That's something for a child and their parents to decide. It's not something that we believe should be decided by legislators. So I'll leave it there.
Leave it there. No age limits. Okay. Biden's Department of Education also announced today that it will not permit blanket bans on biological men playing in women's sports in school. You just can't make this up. Here with reaction, Outkick's Tommy Lahren and the host of the Monica Crowley podcast, Monica Crowley. So, Tommy, I want to get this straight.
Motor holati yaxshi. Katta motordan balon yangi. Nechinchi yil? 13 kami bor deyaptilar. 13 kami bor. 2013-yilda mashinasi. Xo'p. 186.949 salonlarda holati yaxshi. Aka, ajdaniyaga bo'ladimi yo bo'lmaydimi bu? Gaz ballon temir 65 talik zapaskasi ham bor ekan. Ana ko'rinib turibdi. Endi sizlarga ko'rinmayotganlar.
I'm trying to figure out why that happened. What is going on? They're showing a car now when they should have been showing the video. But anyways, let's look. we all know that that's what they're pushing, the agenda of LGBTQ, and they want to say that's a woke crowd. Well, if that was a woke crowd, they would know that that's not good. That if they had any form of logic, they would know. You can't just have logic by itself. You got to have some discernment. You got to have some understanding through part of your body communicates with you. If you're not listening to things that are important, you're not going to exist here. You're not going to be able to live here long. If somebody stabbing you in your booty hole is a good thing, and then you go to your doctor and he tells you no, it's a bad thing. You need to stop this now. This whatever you're doing, stop it because it's not good for you. It's going to kill you eventually. You're going to keep doing it, but somehow you find logic in being in this state of wanting sex in the butthole. So it's just, it makes no kind of sense. And then you become sexual. You become sexual. Everything with LGBTQ is sex, 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 sex. Hold on. Okay, hold on. It's about sex, 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 and more sex. And unfortunately, sex is not going to get you anywhere. But yeah. Sex, I don't get it. Even the animals are looking at humans and saying they're not getting it either. They don't. Fascination with sex in this realm. If we properly understood what sex was meant to do, a lot of us probably be out of here by now. But because Caucasians decide to choose to tell everybody that you need to procreate, you need to procreate, you need to procreate to keep us in this existence. Nobody said that procreating, it's not written down anywhere where we have to continuously procreate and marry. That's a choice. That's a decision. I have this feeling about those who like to do abortions and abort a baby. If life is not good for you, why are you laying down with someone to have sex? Why are you giving up yourself to some other creature on this planet? Period. That's my question. And then you turn around, you end up pregnant without even thinking about it because you have all these ways to prevent pregnancy besides abortion. You choose the worst, more horrific, traumatizing way to kill a baby within you instead of thinking ahead logically, not just logically, but also with your intuition, your intuitive mind, which I use constantly. I use my intuitive mind. I also use my logic, but my logic is got me looking at, on my logical side, it's a battle, it's a war going on constantly with these people out here with information, knowledge, and everything. And it's just like, but I deal with my soft side, my intuitive side, and it's more peaceful over there with me. I can sit back and I can listen and handle the logical part of my brain that's dealing with the logic that's coming out of here, the information that's coming out, and not be so emotional. So it balances me out when dealing with people who want to do dumb stuff, like killing babies, because you chose to interact with someone who is subpar to what your goal is. If your goal is to reach your highest height, then you probably want to find somebody that is at that height or damn near it. At that height or damn near it before you sleep with them. And that way you're not backtracking and saying, oh, I'm going to have to go to abort this baby. See, when you think ahead and you communicate, also you got communication. I taught you guys communication forms through the cards and stuff, and to listen to your inner self. The first voice is always the right one. It's even hard for me sometimes to go with the first voice, but you got to cut out the noise. You got to cut out the noise around you. You got to set boundaries to what you allow in your life. You allow death, which a lot of YouTubers talk about bad things, negative things all the time. You can either allow that, or you can allow people that are going to educate you, help you through the jungle, because it's a jungle out here. And it can traumatize you and have you thinking that this is your reality. This is not your reality. What one person says against another person says, and another person out there says, it doesn't have to be your reality. You're supposed to learn from everything, right? It makes you bigger, better. When you take these things, you learn from people. But how you take it, if it's a bunch of death, negativity, then you're not going to get nothing from that. So you might as well walk away from that and not even entertain that, because that is not going to get you anywhere in life. It's going to stagnate you. It's going to really stagnate you. And you need to full speed ahead. Go full speed ahead to your future and greatness with positive thinking. But like I said, if the doctor tells you your booty hole cannot take people sticking things in it, then you would probably listen to the doctor tell you that, because he knows about the body. If your psychologist says it's too much masculinity, sister, that you are holding within you, and it's going to crash you and burn you, it's not going to bring anything but complaints and everything, struggles to your life. You're going to do dumb crap, like the lesbo I seen the other day inside the store that spent $5,000 on playing not a lotto game, but she wasted $5,000 inside of a video game, casino game. This is lesbo. These are the decisions that the type of decisions you're going to make. You're going to be, it doesn't rise you up to be in that state. It doesn't, to be sexual being. That's LGBTQ is sexual being. I wish the truth about what LGBTQ. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make it my thing, Emmanuel Briggs, to put out the truth about what LGBTQ is doing. I might even write a story. I might even write a book, because when people got to know that something's not good for you, where it's going to lead you. And sex is all it's about to me. And not just to me, it's a fact. You can't get around that fact. You can't get around that fact. And it's deteriorating. It would deteriorate a society. This society is deteriorating. You got to ask, how did that lesbo get $5,000 to do this, to be able to waste in the casino machine? What is she doing? What is this lesbo doing? Well, I can't even tell you. I don't even know. I can just speculate. But I know it's not good. It's not good. She's doing white degeneracy. She's playing the white game with George Washington, like many of our people do, and we think that they're for us, but they're not. So it's called discernment. That's what I said. I said it's all called discernment. It's all called discernment. Hold on a second. But let's finish. Let me see if I can find this. I've been trying to find this video. That's the end show, HD. Okay. Ethical Hannity. End show, HD. Trump. Breaking news, April 6th. Okay, this was the whole. Let me stop sharing this and share this because this is the only way you're going to see the picture. And I'll pause it when he shows it.
Back with a live audience. These are the only normal people in all of New York City, I can tell you that. All right, but tonight we're tracking multiple major stories happening right now. You got two Democratic state lawmakers. You see this videotape in Tennessee? They have been expelled after disrupting an official deliberation at the state capitol in what some are now comparing to the, quote, insurrection, but ignoring, of course, the 2020 riots, 574 of them that nobody wants to investigate or arrest people for. Anyway, a full report straight ahead. Also coming up, a big development from the bogus indictment on Donald Trump. Now breaking today, the House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan issued a subpoena to a fanatical Trump-hating attorney who recently worked under Alvin Bragg on this case. Also, Piers Morgan is going to join us. He interviewed Stormy Daniels for 90 minutes. And I have one big question for Piers. It's a big one. Now, he confronted her about the signed document 2018 where she said it was not, I took the money, but I never had an affair. Now, if you're on a jury and somebody signed that document and then says, no, I didn't mean it, would you believe her then or now? Yeah, who knows? All right, also later tonight, giving into the woke crowd, Nike and Bud Light. They're now facing a wave of criticism after partnering with a woke trans activist that nobody ever heard of, at least I haven't, and we'll have live reaction straight ahead. But
so, hold on.
First, let's start with this, a date.
Okay, let me get this.
August 29th, 2020, of criticism after partnering with a woke trans activist that nobody ever heard of, at least I haven't, and we'll have live reaction straight ahead. But first.
So, we got brothers out there that are going to pretty soon be meeting up with these kinds of things out here because deterioration is what they're walking into and they don't even know it. They think that white society's on the up and coming and black women are down, always been down on the bottom. The world is changing and it's changing from the worst on their side and it's the better on ours. So that's all I wanted to say and forewarn that this is what you're going to deal with. And no one said that you have to procreate because You have to be knowledgeable, and wokeness is part of wokeness is understanding that, not going out here making babies with everybody. He might old dude might be he's making so many babies across the whole place that that actor, the one's married to, I can't even think of his name. I have it on the back of my brain somewhere. But Mariah Carey's ex, Mariah Carey's ex, he is having babies all around this ex, and he tried to say that he was conscious. But I don't know how conscious you can be when you're going to make your kids the king and queens of this degradation, because you're going to have so many children all over this place, and it's just not what's happening. It's just not what should be happening for our people, because we were taught wrong. We think that it was never written down that we had to get married and we had to make children, but we use it to benefit us, not to pull us down. If we're going to do marriage and we're going to do children, we do it to pull us up. And that's your choice. That's your decision. Who you got in your world to pull you up. It's whatever you choose to pull you up, whatever you think will pull you up, I guess you can use that. But, you know, it's not looking good. He said, yes, discernment, because what's going to happen is a very, very important thing. We need to practice it in all things. We need to teach our children discernment very early in life. Yes, very early in life. Teach them discernment. But it's going to be, they're not going to know. These guys going to be, they're already trying to change the black man to be just degraded as the white man is. And when you love the white man, that's what you love, his white woman, you love his whiteness, just for the whiteness. And that's what the money represents, that we're dealing with. And I'm glad that I hear that the money is going to be going out with the banks. Like, I'm going to play this. I'm going to see this. I should probably play a vibrant thing because it's more like it. Oh, Candace is on. Let me see what she's saying. A minute. Vibrant thing. Vibrant. I only agree with her when she talks about the Instagram models and she talks about the trends. But if she talks about anything else, I don't listen. I don't agree with the trend. But she does have some good points about some good things, because they take it too far. They pull it down. The wokeness, they want to pull it down to their level. That's why they can't have it. Sovereign thing, beautiful thing. Let me get her. It's about it. Hey, I'm so glad he's so talented. I'm so glad he left this place and got out of here. He may not have even survived if he stayed in this country. I'm glad that brother got away. But that's Q-Tip. Q-Tip. We love Q-Tip. We love his music. Let me try to find Candace. I can't find Candace. It's a shame. Let me see. Candace. She was in my phone thing, phone notifications on the thing. Okay, here she goes. Yeah. All right. Come on. All right. Let me fix it. Take Hannity off. You know, I don't agree with these people when they talk about us because they can't talk about us until they know the truth about them. And Candace doesn't know the truth about them. And I'm not telling her, I'm just, if she wants to look at my video, she can look. But she didn't look at my one video about her. I did. But that's it. So that was it. Hold on.
Is Daddy in there?
No, I'm on the video.
Is Daddy in
No, Billy's not in.
there? It's this movie. It's this.
I like it.
It's this movie.
Okay.
See, it's like that's part two. This is part one.
Okay, I'll come and watch it when I finish my
Well, you gotta watch. Did you
You
watch
want
it?
to
Yeah.
We're back to watching it. Okay?
You remember you watched this before?
I didn't watch it for
It's an old movie.
funny though. Yeah, go sit down like
And it's embarrassing.
It's funny. Oh. Yeah, I got to spend time with the little one in a minute. So let's get into what Candace has to say about this situation because I'm appalled that they're calling it wokeness. I'm very appalled. It's not it's death. It's death. It's wakeness to back to their death. It was
the
on
hero, right?
Right.
And in the midst of any true human rights violation, we would have taken a stand. It's so easy to look in the retrospect and to look at things that were obviously abhorrent and wrong and go, oh my gosh, I would have never tolerated that. I would have said something for my neighbor. 1930s Germany, I would have stood up to the brown shirts and said, absolutely not. We can't treat people this way. In American history, slavery? Are you kidding me? I would have taken a stance. I would have fought with the Union soldiers. I would have left the South and gone to the North and said this practice must end. But here's the truth. You probably wouldn't have done that. And the reason is not because you're necessarily a bad person, but you too would have been a victim of the times, the victim of the education that you were receiving at that time, which told you that these weren't actually human rights violations. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I'm certain that they probably wrote about slavery and made people think that it was an act of compassion to have slaves or something like that, right? You could totally see that. You can imagine the people at Harvard, this actually took place, people that worked at Ivy League schools, the professors and the doctors that wrote these articles, producing materials to explain to people that it was scientific, that there was a science behind racism, that there was a science behind eugenicism. And what they were doing was an act of compassion because they wanted to preserve the Nordic race. If white people and black people came together and bred, well, it would dumb down humanity. The smartest people were writing these things, and the most educated people were reading these things and going, yes, that makes sense. And that is why, if you go back through the archives of the New York Times, you will find that the manner in which they wrote about the Klansmen was favorable. I've covered this in past speeches. They would talk about the amiable Klansmen met again. Oh my gosh, the climate was warm. They were at a governor's mansion. Oh, the Klansmen, what wonderful people they were. Yeah, these were the sorts of things that were written in the mainstream media. So were you somebody who would have thought outside of the box at that time? There was no social media. There wasn't this ability to hear different voices like mine, to hear a different perspective. Again, if you were educated, you were reading these sorts of newspapers. Which brings me to today, which brings me to the greatest civil rights violation of our time.
We didn't need to be educated as Black people to know that slavery was wrong, to know that treating people, we didn't take white people. We never took white people and enslaved them, beat them, forced them to do anything. If we did that, there would have been no more white people on earth. I'm sorry to tell you. But it just didn't exist amongst us to do you like that. But you have breeded death into my people, and you have breeded crime and all the bad things that can come with all those things. You just dragged the whole society, this whole world down with your whiteness and your lies. And that's what lies bore. Lies bore death. Lies bring destruction. Destruction is born from corruption. So remember that.
Which is taking place right now, and that is transgenderism. And I'm going to make a very strong statement right now, and I mean it. It is worse than Jim Crow laws because we are mutilating the bodies of children. How could you not see that as something worse? You segregated white people versus black people, you wouldn't be harming children, and we are doing that. And once again, the same usual suspects are supporting it, the mainstream media. Look around you. New York Times, the Washington Post, they're saying it's compassionate to allow your child to pick their gender. The science is in, guys. It's totally fine to allow children to take drugs that chemically castrate them, that render them infertile for the rest of their lives. It's good for their mental psyche. Well, there are all sorts of doctors and people with PhDs that are writing this. In fact, doctors and surgeons are performing these procedures to mutilate the bodies of our most vulnerable. We are talking about something that is borderline Frankenstein. It is Frankenstein. These are human experiments that are being performed on children. Even the publications that I read and that I support, Daily Mail, Fox News, they are mildly contributing to the civil rights violation by referring to people like Dylan Mulvaney as a she. Read the articles on their websites. They are calling Dylan Mulvaney a she. Dylan Mulvaney is not a she. He is a pervert, a perversion of what it means to be a man. He belongs in a circus act. But instead, he's receiving the support, and now he is earning the wealth from many corporations for his little girl minstrel act. Part of his minstrel show is referring to a woman's vagina as a Barbie pouch. Yeah, he is that sick and that deluded. He refers to it as a Barbie pouch. And As a part of that act, he pretends that women just don't know what sports are and that we don't possess basic athleticism and that we fear the outdoors. Take a look at this old clip of Dylan Mulvaney exploring the outdoors on one of his days of girlhood.
Love ya. Oh. Did you see that? I gotta get out of here.
Oh, do you see that? He's screaming because a bug came by. He's dropped onto the ground because that's what it is. Girls, when we see a bug, we frolic and then we scream onto the ground. And then we flip our bangs because you just go, oh my gosh, did you see that? I've never been outside. Despite his apparent lack of athleticism, despite the fact that he hates the outdoors,
Exactly.
Nike, a huge corporation, has decided to partner with Dylan Mulvaney. You're not going to believe how insulting this partnership is because they have sent him sports bras. Yeah, he is going to be modeling for them. He is modeling for them as an ad partner, sponsoring their women's wear. Take a look. So there he is, I guess, putting on his best Richard Simmons performance and thinking that this is supposed to be funny, dancing and skipping with his hair in a high ponytail, because that's, I guess, what women do at a workout class or something. We act like little girls on a playground, coordinating a dance with our friends. What is this? Is that funny to anybody that just watched that? Is that cute to anybody that just watched that? Is that womanly to any person that just watched that? Or does that look to you to be what it is? A freak, a perversion, and something that no person should be supporting in this society, that every single person should be speaking out against. If you actually care about women, if you deem yourself to be a feminist, even if you don't deem yourself to be a feminist, if you deem yourself to be a moral individual, how do you not speak out against the fact that this man wearing woman face is now taking the spots of women? Why couldn't Nike have offered that position to a mother who maybe is a single mom, has 5 kids, works multiple jobs? Why couldn't we see that person modeling a sports bra? Somebody who's actually accomplishing things as a woman. Well, maybe it's because we don't know what a woman is anymore, right? That's it. That is the big question of today. What is a woman, right? These people don't know anymore. It used to be so simple when I was growing up, really complicated for some reason. And actually, it shouldn't be that complicated because it is a very easy answer.
Well, Candace, if you knew the history of your husband and the history of your children, that's now adopted by your children and you would know that the men and used to be kings, they were kings, but they would dress as queens. And it was a European habit for the men to like little boys. This is their ancestor, so I don't know why you expect any higher from them. They're just going to continue the little circle, 360 degrees around and around, like the clock goes round and round. When the clock goes round and around, oh, that's my jam right there. When the clock goes up, we're gonna rock around the clock. That's my song, guys. Rock around the clock. Oh my, rock around the clock. When I was a little girl, I was conscious of this song. This song, Rock Around the Clock. Oh my goodness. Do they have a remix of it? I think they have a remix of it. Let them play my song. Oh my God. I like this. I think the old one is better. Let me find the old one. Let me find the old one because the old one. Oh, oh, there. No, that's right. Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm sorry. Nice. Hey. That was very nostalgic for me when I was growing up. That song, whoa, I'm rock around the clock. Wow. See, and come back and do it again. So, Candace, this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be rocking around the clock. Your children are going to rock around the clock, and you're going to live around the clock and continuously live around the clock. This is what you bounded yourself to, the clock. So it's very, very, important that you study the science of the clock. Study the science of the clock. Okay, let's continue on her video.
A woman is an adult female human. And there are certain experiences that only an adult female human will ever be able to experience, like pregnancy, like breastfeeding, like the true heartache of being infertile, or the heartache that so many of my friends have suffered when they went through a miscarriage, like menopause, like fears of things like ovarian cancer. And when you have somebody like Dylan Mulvaney, who is now receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars to pretend to be something that he will never be, it rips at the hearts and the souls of women all around the world who go through these sorts of experiences. I have such deep resentment in the bottom of my soul for the continuation of this minstrel act. It needs to stop. Find your voice, say something. Don't be one of those people that when people are looking backward and say, I can't believe they allowed this to take place. Don't let you be one of the people that they're referring to. All right, guys, that is all the time that we have for today. You know that I have some very exciting exclusive content that has been a little bit delayed.
That was a really good conversation on that. But one thing I disagree with is pocket watching because you do the same thing. That's hypocritical. You talk about our people, my people, and you make money from that. So why can't he be free to make his money in the way that he wants to make his money, make his George Washington, make his white false pretense, his false tense? Um, why can't he do that? That's the thing. But I don't agree with him being put in magazines, but he can pretend on Instagram and TikTok and be what he wants to be and make money like that. That's his whole free right there. But when you try to influence other people to be like this and call it woke, that takes it to a whole new level because you're trying to deceive my people. So that's why I'm talking about this situation because deception is real out here. Thank you, Emmanuel Briggs. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's time to get up. I know you're tired. It's time to get out. You know, it's time for me to get out. And I'm finished with this 2 videos for the day. If something comes to mind and I create something else, maybe later on today if I can. But always remember on this note, true love, real peace, and the higher self within us, our souls. Because our souls do nothing on this earth to get burnt. And you can't burn a soul. Remember that. Even though they think, for some reason, I don't know why they think that Black people are going to hell. It's the funniest thing in the world to me. How can you tell a Black person, oh, you got to know Jesus so you can get to heaven, so you can go to heaven? Well, you don't have a heaven or a hell to put me in, and neither does your God or your devil. But I have a heaven